Alrighty, so after a very brief delay, we are back with with a narrative game, and we are doing the Forgotten City. Gonna turn down music a little. And also, because these sound effects are really loud for me, we're going to turn them down as well. Oh, and UI, because those are separate. Alrighty. Interesting. We have a spoiler warning. Or specifically, a request for me to give a spoiler warning, which is really cool. So, we are playing through the entire game. A message from the developer. This game was developed by a core team of 3 people this is a mystery adventure with multiple endings. It rewards thoughtful conversation and exploration, not brute force. The fate of the city is in your hand. Okay, text. Be a bit slower.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
Masker Femme. I guess Femme.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
I was searching for ancient ruins. I was on a covert mission. I would like... Oh! Years of studying history give you occasional insights into the ancient world. You have I was searching for ancient ruins.
You're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured, or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him. If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
Mind if I ask some questions first? Thank you, game.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. I just...
What do you want?
What do you want to know? Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean?
You're not even gonna tell me your name?
Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you.
Why don't you want to tell me?
All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Oh. all those Karen memes have really ruined that name.
Yeah, something like that. But right now, I have bigger problems, like finding Al.
Who is
He's
Al?
the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is.
Where are we?
You really don't remember?
We're in Italy.
We're in Italy.
Oh, it's a
This river is
Tiber!
the Tiber.
What can you tell me about Florence?
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts.
Al? Have you tried calling for help?
What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me.
Why do people keep washing down
Great.
this river?
So you're ready to go look for Al?
I will look for
Thank
Al.
you. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Gonna see if I can up video.
The ruins are just beyond those columns. Please, hurry.
Something sounds like a phone like a phone. So if I remember correctly, this game was originally developed as a mod for Skyrim.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous
Oh shit!
shall be
shit.
rewarded with
Oh
eternal life
shit!
in paradise.
I've
The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place."
Oh, I love that.
Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation, or a warning. Al Worth.
Well, Al, pleasure to meet you. I really like this. Young Roman woman in a pose of lamentation. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. Pro peccata vivitis, many shall suffer for the sins of the one. Alright. Well, there's a plinth. Wait a sec. That's not Roman armor. No, no. I'm pretty sure that's not Roman armor. Could have made a gladiator flee. Cohic Esni. What? Young Roman woman, it looks like she was begging for her life. Okay. A Roman military commander attempting to scrabble away from something. Oh, it's a physics object! Roman legionary, state of terror. Yeah, okay. What the fuck?
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options. Death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now.
Playing modern.
Find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
Alright. So, Al is the last person to try this time loop thing. A Roman woman in a state of panic. Alright, so time portal looks like the Stargate opening.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
I'm Jay, and I've come from the future. Wait, are you speaking English? Shrine of Proserpina? Jay and I got lost. Jay and I've just come from the future.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh,
Wait.
Are you a bit, you know, not right in the head? That's alright, friend. Everyone's welcome here.
What's today's date?
We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March?
What year?
It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the Empire are you from, exactly?
Archaeologist insight. So 65 CE?
CE?
No,
No idea what you're talking about. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine.
your laws?
Not laws.
Law.
There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
Alright, leave away.
Follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now. Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your pretty new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking her to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's...
Ooh, I want to meet...
It's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Ah, don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since...
Oh.
You know, I don't know what happened to her.
Don't steal anything, don't hurt anyone, don't... Whoever wrote this didn't get a chance to finish, evidently. Sorry.
Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Galerius, you're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please. I expect the magistrate wants to brief you about the Golden Rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today.
Alright, lead the way.
Follow me. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Row is exactly 10 times worse.
Oh.
Who's up these stairs?
Whatever are you wearing? Oh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
What do you think about?
You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing god who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent god would let my sister go missing on his or her watch?
Fair question.
Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought.
Well, at least we know blasphemy doesn't break the golden rule.
I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving. I suppose we will.
What's your story?
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that?
Charming. Do you know a way out of here?
What is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out.
I will want
that
this
it?
plot line. This is
Well,
what I'm
that's
going
just
for
a
first.
stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone.
Can I help?
I don't know.
Can you?
Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies? It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love. We went into our rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it.
She was
I
seeing
think
some...
so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret, even from me.
Why is that?
Because our father had plans to marry her off, eventually, and even a rumor about her attachment to some mystery man might have ruined those
Oh,
plans.
I really want... Is it possible her
I
love...
don't know, but it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city. Why? Because I'm on this couch and not pacing about the villa, wasting energy? I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
I am not. Alright.
You're awful. Get out of my villa and never speak to me again.
Well. Hello, old man.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
I'm Jay.
A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of Athena. You must be a woman of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
It's beautiful.
Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
Can't say I
Nor
have.
could I, until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions.
I do.
Ask away. An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes, or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea. What is legal isn't always moral, and many of your laws and customs are considered barbaric where I'm from.
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric?
Don't your laws allow slave ownership? Don't you people watch blood sports for entertainment? Don't you persecute Christians? Don't women have fewer rights than men? Don't you practice collective punishment? Ooh, which one of these do I want?
Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion.
Don't women?
Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands.
don't you?
Of course. What else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well. On occasion, but our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm. You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that. Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you. You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you?
You're right. I'm from 2,000 years in the future.
2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city?
We'd all been turned into golden statues.
I have imagined it. Our downfall 1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
How does the ritual work?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future?
I did see human remains in the temple.
I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't
What?
you?
You all...
Well, I suppose that's
You
all
already
I can
did!
ask.
If I'm here...
Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal.
Yes.
As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Fair enough. Do you have any
Do
suspects?
you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore?
Yeah.
What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence...
Do you think it could be related to Centilla's disappearance?
So you know about that already. That was over 3 weeks ago, and whatever happened to her, it didn't break the golden rule.
Holy shit.
So I don't think it's connected.
That's a
with
lot
our
of snow
imminent
outside.
demise. Still, if you happen to find her and return her to me,
Fair enough. How do you know?
Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you. I'm about to sacrifice my... What reason could you possibly...
Fair point.
I'm glad you think so. With
Fair enough. If I do this, will you help get me back to... That's all the questions I have.
Good. So, are you with me? Wonderful. Now, I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, one last thing. If I heard wailing from there not long ago, it seems like something's not right.
Scintilla to Sentius. May Jupiter Optimus Maximus. Jupiter the Most High continue to protect and guide you. Thank you for making me your daughter. And for the lovely birthday present, I promise I will wear it always. I feel so safe and fortunate to have you as my father, and Sentia, my sister. I sense you've been feeling apprehensive about the election next month. But if you can just show them strong and dependable, I'm sure. Okay. Can I have an apple? A small household shrine. Okay. I should probably give some context as to where I'm coming at this from. Ooh, participle.
Whatever are you wearing?
Stop commenting on my clothes. I look perfect. So, fuck off. Scintilla to Sentius and Sentia. May Clemencia give you the strength to forgive me. I'm sorry you have to leave you this way, but I have found a way to escape and I must take it. If we meet again someday. No, I don't want to take it. Ink jar. Okay, so this is where she left, where she did the writing. Okay. We are right now. These were clearly people.
Citizen.
The murder.
Greetings.
What were you two talking about?
Sorry, what?
Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man Sentius up on
How
his
is it
balcony.
shady?
If he's making a last-ditch effort to pick up votes by talking to a woman, he's even more senile than I thought. Everyone knows women can't vote.
We weren't talking about the election.
What else would you be murmuring about on election day? Mark my words, Malleolus is going to be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you've sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron. Got it?
I don't care about the election. I wasn't thinking of interfering. But now I am. I don't want to try.
Oh, you just made a big mistake. Malleolus is gonna hear all about this, and he'll make you suffer the tortures of Tartarus while you're still alive.
Good luck with that.
Sturcomedite.
Sturcomedite. I assume that's... Ooh, an Octavia. Equatia's... Minerva. So this is Athena. Oh, I can't believe they're mixing them up. Like this game. Oh no. This is before syncretism.
Isn't
Fear
the great
is proof
temple
of a
majestic?
degenerate mind.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Hi, Equitia. What do you think of the golden?
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We asked for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
Yes?
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
I agree, or perhaps...
A cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not entirely invalid, I suppose.
Oh. What's the status of the election?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus. Why do you ask?
Can I nominate another?
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the all of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless... That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself, but in this case, given my role overseeing, I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but if it's any consolation, there are other... By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Certainly.
I'll be going now.
See you again.
I would like...
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
What's your story?
Can't talk long. Got to stay sharp. Family's from Solution.
Fortune smile on you, sister.
Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions. Same way as everyone else. Because we're all in grave danger. The magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. If you were dealing with what I am, none of your business. In Troy, if we have... I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival
I have a feeling I've lived through a pandemic.
And you know, I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong. Well, we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking? Like...
I think you're right.
Of course I am.
Who are you going to?
Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even put... Fine.
No.
Whatever.
Oh! Is that a TOS violation?
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Yulia. She was a good woman.
What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat, and I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here, with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath. Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day, or in the next hour. And I will not allow... I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetri Camfututo and scratching his eyes out.
do you think about this?
A city without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't think it through. Maybe it was an attempt to create some kind of utopia. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes to exploit. And what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we are worse off because we can't take the law into our own hands. Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad. Anything about what? Sure. What do you want to know?
You think she was poisoned, or was it self-inflicted? Do you know what?
Hemlock, I believe.
Okay.
I haven't seen her in months. She's not allowed to leave Malleolus' villa, and they are quite secretive. Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe... Gladly. Well...
Alright, let's go.
How'd you do? Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Decius. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we? You mean, how did I end up here? Suit yourself. I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but some people here are a little shady. It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple... I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little Thank you, friend. Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price. Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it. That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard and save your coins, you should be able to afford it. Very well. Perhaps I can Very well.
Asshole.
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die in here?
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today. Perhaps our new magistrate will be kinder than Sentius and let you out.
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and I don't know. Yes, but I wasn't. I was just looking. They said I did it more than once, but I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
A liability?
Yes. They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter.
Magistrate Sentius. Do Julius, I'm writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behavior arising from your obsession with an alleged lost treasure. While I am sympathetic to your plight and the passing of your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, I wish to impress upon you an important message. The treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have on several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns, which are strictly off limits to all citizens, I've reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to this community and must have your freedom limited lest you break the golden rule. It is my hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you are incarcerated, should you experience further lapse of memory.
What does it say?
It says they caught you trespassing several times and you locked you up.
My treasure.
What treasure?
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns, but when I went up to the high, now nobody looks after me, except my friend Galerius and Ek. Hannibal said I shouldn't give it. Galerius already tried that. Like, Galerius, if you help make him, Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. Bye-bye.
Don't you just love springtime? Ah, it's you again. Hope you're set now.
What do you think about the election?
I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius much, but Malleolus is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life. I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. And that's good enough. Because Sentius put him there. Poor Dooley was just wandering around looking for some imaginary treasure. Now a magistrate accused him of being a thief. That's nonsense, of course. Dooley's the most harmless man you'll ever meet. But Sentius really has it in for him, for some reason. Gladly. Well, as much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But if anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know?
I'll be going now.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna quickly put you in break mode. Mute this. Alrighty, we're back. Good. I'm learning. We're back. Oh, cool.
Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff. And a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. You arrived on a sad day, friend. What with Julia's death? I wish we could have met under better circumstances. Oh, it means someone thinks I'm a sinner, and that I'm going to break the golden rule.
Why did someone think that?
Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company. Hey, nothing gets by you, huh? Sorry, that was mean. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagus, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Nice of you to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least, I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong. It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
Cultists?
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that he considers my nature as sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last
Christians.
year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
Let me look into it for you.
Really? I didn't expect that. But thanks. It's always a pleasure to meet someone so selfless. I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around among the merchants here. Someone who lives or works in the forum must have seen something. But if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're just confused.
I'll get
Come
right
back
on
and let me know what you find.
This is priority 1. Sinner. Yeah.
Greetings. I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail? And now you have me more intrigued than before. But since it appears you do not wish to share, I will wait until we are better friends. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
Maybe.
This is troubling, is it not? I am afraid I have no idea. It is ridiculous though. Virgil is a fine man. But my young friend Fabia confided in me that she saw someone leaving graffiti on his shop front last night. Perhaps you should ask her about it. Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me.
Okay.
It is how our gods operate.
Fair enough.
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way. But of course, I hope that our...
Sometimes I stare at the great. Any news about my secret admirer? Oh, that's all right. I'm sure it'll take time. Some people say it's divine, the work of a god, but I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me, like it's distinctly human. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called god doesn't seem to care, which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown god doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you?
I think so.
Good.
Yes.
Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to
How do you remove a god from power?
Good question. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought.
Yes. Virgil. Like him a lot.
Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all my vote isn't for sale, if that... Nice to talk to you.
Fabia. I'm looking for Fabia. Was she the one in here? No, that was Lucretia. That is a locked door. Speak.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived in the baths. Real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule.
Maybe it's threatening Virgil.
Are you serious? This is an emergency. Are you going to help? Thank you. I have to hide. Find... The shrine is collapsing!
Fabia, no!
No! Fuck!
Oh, God, she's dead! Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her! Oh, Fabia, why did you have to go in there? Poor sweet girl!
You carry the gift of Prometheus in your hand. Remarkable. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name? It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here? Then perhaps the fates brought you here to learn the secrets of this place. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I've been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule? You have much to learn.
Interesting.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
I don't know Quinctius.
I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible crimes against the Empire. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest. Is that understood? Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place? A small community. I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult.
Wait, what's a mystery cult?
Oh, don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, Magna Mater, or Christ. You lot are all the same to me. Always sneaking off to your secret sanctuaries, indoctrinating each other with your little mantras. The Emperor may have tolerated your activities up until now, but after what Quinctius did, those days are numbered. You say that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret? So you admit you're not allowed to leave. Threatening me is not going to help you. But in any case,
what is this guy?
That sounds an awful lot like a cult to me. And I saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe?
Technically.
A distinction without a difference. You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense.
I've been here 5 minutes.
Tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues?
There were once people.
You lot are practicing human sacrifice too. You people disgust me.
I hate this person.
Of course you'd say that, but that's what your kind do, isn't it? Our god told us to do it. It's all clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists. There's no doubt in my mind. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal.
What
they just
zeal?
Can't see what they've become. However, you still have a chance to redeem yourself by telling me where Quintius is. Do not waste it. Then you're of no use to me. Do you have any last words? Aha, I knew it. Now it's my turn to tell you something. Once I'm done with you and Quintius, I intend to kill every last one of you wretched degenerates. And I can think of nothing I'd enjoy more.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Hey!
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me... Oh, Bacchus, how much did I drink last night? Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than... And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't... But don't worry, it's... All right. Ah, it's you again. Now. I've bounced, but... Gladly. All right.
Alright, so what have we encountered thus far? Oh.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia.
Hi.
Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far? Ah, another stoic, perhaps. We all need something to help us through times like these. We've all been where you are now. I remember when I first arrived. I used to lay awake at night contemplating the big questions. Why am I here? Is there a way out? What is the Golden Rule, and who or what is responsible for it? I still don't have any of the answers, I'm afraid. I don't think anybody does. But I'm happy to share with you what I've learned. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. I think about those words a lot. I'd like to think that if we all love our neighbours as ourselves, and do to them as we'd have them do to us, then we'll all be fine. But on the other hand, I was always taught the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and that all of us are born with a tendency towards sin. And that's where I get stuck. Is it true? Are we born with a tendency towards sin?
I think so. I think people are
You
fundamentally...
don't think that's a little naive? I suppose you've never seen what I've seen. Innocent men and women, torn apart in arenas while thousands of Romans look on and cheer. If that's true, then sooner or later, things are going to end badly for all of us down here. Unless, of course, there's some kind of divine intervention. I would.
So you're a Christian?
Please keep that to yourself. I know you're not from around here, but things are very difficult for us right now. There was a terrible fire in Rome last year, and our emperor decided to make us his scapegoats. There were executions. It was horrible.
Your secret's safe with me.
Oh, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. All right, well, it was lovely to...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him. I don't know, but it's a crime for slaves to take their own lives. And a debt bondsman isn't far off.
Alright, I'll talk to him.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime against the Empire.
I was just gonna ask you what's wrong. Well, I think you have a right to die if you're suffering badly enough.
You're not going to trick me. I'm no coward. I intend to go through with it. Like what? I'm stuck slaving away for that culus cumulatis for the rest of my life. What do I have to live for? You're just saying that to buy time. You must think I'm an idiot. I'm out. Wherever you are. Scintillum, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no! I can't believe you... Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine. I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, and I'd best pray for...
Here's my zip code. Cool. I'm locking myself in. Don't try to follow me. Nothing good will come of it, Navia. Alright, so right now we know Theophilus had an orgy with 4 girls here and disappointed all of them equally. Lol. Public toilets. We are looking for Fabia.
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule. Thank you. I have to hide. What?
How'd you do? Salve, stranger. I don't, I'm afraid. But I did over... Very well.
Shh, I'm hiding. Did you stop him? Well...
What are you doing in here? Can't you see she needs the resin of a plant? It's too late. No. Well.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a boat?
For the last time, Decius, I'm not making you a boat.
But why?
As per our custom, I shall begin by paying my respect to the god responsible for this city, for our continued prosperity and tranquil seclusion. He deserves our admiration, but I must depart from custom, for his attempt at imposing strict rule upon us is oppressive and overreaching and deserves of our contempt. Who among us is not awoken at night in a cold sweat, fearing some sort of accidental transgression of the golden rule? All of us must accept that we are all capable of error, whether from a momentary lapse in judgment or a conscious decision based on faulty reasoning. Yet the great threat, the sword of Damocles that we live under, is, I believe, merely a deception, and I shall prove it to you. Let me begin by dismissing the counter-arguments. First, it may be argued that the inscription stating the many shall suffer for the sins of the one is evidence that the golden rule is very real, but that it is logically unsound, for we cannot assume the writer knew any more than we did. That this message was inscribed does not make it true any more than if I were to inscribe Dorotus the Younger is a god. Second, it may be argued that the statues in this place are evidence of that the golden rule is real. You need not remind me of that. It was I who discovered them all around the city. It was I who collected them, placed them in a hand cart, and placed them in the niches in which they sit today. I will not soon forget them, and except they're scattered everywhere. When we read the story of Venus bringing Pygmalion statue Galatea to life, we do not believe it's true. Why should we take a different view here? But ultimately, these arguments are just that. After years of living in fear, there is only one way for me to prove that the golden rule is a falsehood, and that is through action. Friends, I apologize in advance for this, but one day you will see this moment as a turning point in our city's history. Let us see, once and for all, if the golden rule is real, as I strike one of you with my fist. Interesting. So, this person is one who caused the last golden rule society to end. Oh.
Salve.
Alright. Just doing some laps. just do a quick save. The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. This place is called Accursed. Here, Titios offers up his innards to be torn, stretched out over 9 fields. You, Tantalus, cannot catch a drop of water, and the tree you grasp at it eludes you. You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns. Ixion turns and follows after himself and flees. And the 49 Belides who dared to plot the destruction of their cousins, their husbands fetch again with incessant labor the water they have lost. Oh.
Well, isn't that an impressive... Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before, a certain learning and sophistication.
And you're as charming as you are beautiful.
Ugh, coming on a bit strong, don't you think?
What? You came on to me.
I take back what I said. Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore. Let's just forget that ever happened, so we can at least do business.
Get rejected!
So, what brings you to my tavern? I just try not to think about it. Drink helps with that. As the saying goes... Certainly. For 10... Have you met Livia? She used to do my hair, until one day she just... snapped. This place has that effect on people. Now, she just stands around, caked in filth, muttering nonsense to herself. It's a real shame. Whatever you like. You know, normally, I'd expect you to buy me a drink before... Straight to business, huh? As a matter of fact, I'm happy to tell you all about it, but... So, how... If I took your money without giving you what I promised, I'd be breaking the golden rule, wouldn't I? What's the matter? Well, perhaps you could take out a loan. I understand. All right. You stay away from my money.
If I steal the money, we're all dead. Actually.
Unless you want me to slip some hemlock into your next drink. Get out!
Oh, okay.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come. The bloodless shadows. This is their punishment. The bloodless shadows on the house. The newly arrived.
Okay. So Livia's our oracle
You,
figure.
Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns.
Okay, the man by the river was there, as always his face shrouded in shadow from the peculiar ram headdress. Once again he introduced himself as Curti, and told me he'd dragged me from the river. Oh! As if it meant something I could not understand. Indeed, the name rings a bell.
Oh, do us all a favour and drink hemlock, Caput Murder.
Oh, okay. Let's go find Rufus. Or Ruffius. eventually I'll find the technology to move a golden statue. Or at least push it over. We are looking for Ruffius.
Salve.
Where's Virgil?
Ah, a new face. Salve. You arrived on a sad day, You wouldn't believe how there are much work, but once you get... Oh, I just mean I go save it. Well, nice to... Welcome.
I'll be going.
Nice to talk.
What is it, citizen? He's one of the better commanders I've ever had, that's for sure. Good. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that. What business is that? A lot of people have been looking for her. But it's... Centilla was always a kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit. If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to... You might fare better, though, I suppose. Fine. All right.
Ave.
Citizen, we're finally alone. I assume you already know who I... We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only, is that about right? Ah, look, it's unfortunate. Now, I assume you'll sort me out again. Of course, what is it? Yes? What? An assassin? Then what are you doing here talking to me? Why aren't you out there trying to stop him? You... As magistrate, I hereby declare him an enemy of Rome. Any way you can, despite my weapons ban. It's been my experience one... I don't believe so, no. It's not a crime to carry out the lawful order. So now you're an If ever there was a time to dispense with legal... Then perhaps you would prefer the feeling of being responsible for the deaths of... Now is not the time for cowardice in the guise of philosophical introspection. Now is the time for action. You have your order. Carry it out. Thank you.
Nope. Not gonna do it. Got more important work.
Oh, I wish Horatius would stop letting...
I've got information. I know who her sister's lover was. Let me tell people things.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Don't you just love springtime?
Denari. I've got a question. Hey. I've got a theory. Hey. If I'm right, and I think I am, if I can find a place where I cannot be seen by statues, wait, which myth is this?
Just as the ocean but it... There is only a downward.
Do you need
help me? It is better for you if you remain ignorant. The newly...
Nope.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
That's what I thought. Wait, no, that's the opposite of what I thought. Come on, Sentius. Don't have all day. So,
I love your clothes. You stay away from my money.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
goodbye! Wrong direction. Shit, shit, shit. Up the stairs, up the stairs. Quick, quick, quick. Up the stairs. Hide in here. Cool. Today I'm celebrating. I made the easiest 1,000 denarii reading mode. Of course, it may not have been the way out she was hoping for, but Hemlock still counts. That'll teach her for insulting my hair, and since it didn't break the golden rule, I may have to try this again. Dear Diary, it worked again. I'm now another 1,000 denarii richer. Thank Ulpius and his desperation for escape. Of course, there's very little to spend money on here, but just having it gives me a little thrill. Finally, I have something to spend my money on. Malleus is running for magistrate in the election tomorrow, and he's promised that for a sufficient tribute, I'll be able to move into old Sentius's villa once it's vacated. How he plans to achieve this is he wouldn't say, but I'd better make sure he wins.
Oh, you're here. And, there's a light. How dare you? Get away.
You, Sisyphus, just as the ocean but it... The new...
Isn't the great temple majestic?
On your best behavior, I trust?
Oh, wait. I'm screwing this up. To go up here, and to quickly buy that antidote from Asshole.
Wonder how much one of these Salve, stranger. Certainly. Oh. Very well.
What are you doing in here? What? Quick, Yulia. Hopefully in a moment she should... That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this?
Time traveler.
A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded... That was like the gods hearing. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself, and maybe she can tell us who poisoned her. And in the meantime... That's a May Apollo keep you safe.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest. As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to... The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. Please, just... Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? All right.
I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did. I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was?
Hemlock.
You figured it out already. I wish I'd been so astute. Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cool black eyes and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning. That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the Golden Rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean. Those two took everything from me. My hemlock. I just wanted it to be over. I brought it on my... When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will... Only this time, I won't be... Honestly, I doubt it. At least until someone breaks the... A lot. But it doesn't matter. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelia set the same... He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff, and if so, I'd never be able to... I doubt you could make it up to the bluff. I don't know who you are.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Sprint, 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 sprint. Speed. Don't jump, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. Stay still, stay still, stay still, stay still. Jump, don't jump. Yeah, Really making me feel better. Thanks, fucking statues. Stay. Stay. You bastard. If you jump before I tell you she hasn't killed herself, I will be so fucking pissed at you.
Salve, friend.
Not you!
Welcome. Alright, well...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
No, 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 no!
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things. Please.
I'm sorry, but
Please, help him. Thank you.
Let me guess. You know about that? How? Well, you don't understand. It's too late for that. If I backed out now, I'd... Oh, really? But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. And... No.
No, 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 no.
Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Fuck!
Orpheus, no! I'll have... and I...
Alright.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
Fresh meat, huh?
Don't give a shit. Fuck off. You're gonna do a fucking CSI on the body that just dropped. Actually, no. Alright. Save. Quit after I press this button and say bye.